I've come up with a new term called an AT trend. When you look at a chart, with hindsight especially, and all you see are either red or blue lines dominating, it looks like one big episode, one big ladder, but in fact, what it is an AT trend. And you're going to see now how to use it, what it is, and why it's so valuable for trading using the Amazing Trader. So let's take a look and see what I mean. When you open a chart and all you see are either red lines or blue lines, it's what I call an AT trend. What it's telling you is that any attempt to pause the move, in this case with a blue line, is proving to be short-lived. And the market is taking out those blue lines, building ladders to the upside, and dominating the market. So why is this important? Well, as I've said many times, identifying the side of the market to trade is more than half the battle in becoming a successful trader. And this just tells you visually, you can just eyeball it. Look at this here. You can see right over here the market tried to pause. Let's zoom this a little bit. But this blue line's not holding. This market's moving to the upside. So having identified what side of the market to trade, depending on the time frame you're trading in, what you're looking to find is an episode. An episode where there's an imbalance in the market, ladders are building in one direction or the other, in this case direction to the upside, and you're looking to jump on that ladder and trade it, because if you've seen with the AT trend, it's telling you what side to trade. So in this case, I went to a 5-minute chart. You've had all this consolidation in here, attempt to correct. So in this case, an AT trend is not an episode. It just tells you what side to trade. But let's see what happens when you scroll down to different time frames. So this is where preceding lines come in. For an AT trend to also be an episode, and that's the strongest move you can have. Preceding AT lines in a ladder have to hold. In other words, if this episode started over here, at the start of the day basically, and you started to move up, as long as none of the preceding lines are broken, then an episode is also an AT trend. So if I went down to the 30-minute chart, you can see here on a 30-minute chart, basically none of the preceding lines were ever broken. So in a 30-minute chart, you have an AT trend and an episode moving to the upside. So what does that tell you for trading? Well, the steps are very clear. Depending on what time frame you're trading in, you're actually going to drill up. And if you would have first zoomed this chart, it's very clear that red lines are dominating. But if you're looking to trade it as a ladder, you had this whole consolidation period here for a couple hours. And a new episode started over here, which gave you a sign that you could trade it because you know you want to trade from the long side. On the other hand, if you want to trade with a longer term view, you would be trading and zooming up until you found an episode that coincided with an AT trend where you could actually put a position on and hold it and run with a ladder that continues to move to the upside, which is even clearer on a 1-hour chart. Once again, any attempt to form a high, you might have had one over here, is proving short-lived and not supported by anything else on the Amazing Trader as the market continues to move out the upside. This is an example on a 1-hour chart of an AT trend coinciding with an episode, creating what I would really like to call a clean ladder, a ladder where the preceding line ahead of any new high has never been broken, giving you opportunities to jump on and trade with your stop below that preceding line. Now, I just want to be very clear that an AT trend is not always an episode, but it tells you what side of the market you should be trading. For example, in this one I gave you on a very short-term chart, this is the SPX 500, by the way. This was your episode to the upside. This was your consolidation. And this was a fresh episode to the upside. So this ladder here is not part of this ladder over here. Where if you went to a longer-term chart, for example, 1 hour, this is all part of the same episode. So the AT trend is an AT episode. So I just want to be very clear on the differentiation between it, but the bottom line is the same. The AT trend tells you what side of the market you should be trading on. And it's up to you to find a time frame you feel comfortable with, an AT ladder and an episode that you can get involved in, start trading, and get in with the flow. It's an invaluable tool, one that you just have to eyeball. And as I said, allows you to go across multiple pairs, multiple instruments, looking for that AT trend, which tells you what side of the market you should be trading.